Hi, everyone. So last week I talked about how a pivot in your business can be incredibly valuable and how it can create more possibilities. So this week I'm going to shift into talking about taking a pivot in life, which actually ties into a few things that I've talked about throughout my weekly video series, such as evolution and how we are always evolving to a higher version of who we are, or the next version of who we are, and how this is how a pivot can seamlessly lead us there. The other topic I covered was sabotage, right? And how sabotage is just a form of feedback, just like failure. And how sabotage is actually a sign of our lives craving something more and something bigger, right? So we mess things up so that we're aware that we want a change. And then the other one was wholeness, right? Claiming ourselves as whole and honoring every part of who we are as we evolve. So a pivot in life can be a choice, and it can also happen organically. And both of these ways come from a very empowered place. And when it comes time to pivot in life, you are definitely craving something bigger or something different in a more powerful way. And sure, we have desires that, we desire something or something more, something different every day. And a pivot means something is important that wants to be changed, and we are going to take empowered action to change it and pivot forward. And this is one of the biggest reasons why my clients hire me, is when they're going through a pivot or some sort of transition, because they desire something bigger in life, something different in their business or their life, such as they are ready for a promotion or a raise at their current company. Maybe they're ready to leave in entrepreneurship, or ready to grow and scale their existing business. Maybe they're ready to become a master or a leader or some sort of expert in their industry. And maybe it's someone who's looking to start over in a career, right? They're looking to take a leap of faith into trying something new, or are recently divorced and are stepping back into the workforce. And maybe they're ready to divorce their partner or leave a toxic relationship or partnership. And then another reason why people work with me when they're going through a pivot in their life is that they're just ready to create a positive relationship with money and really create wealth rather than savings. People are ready to put themselves first, which is not being selfish at all. I consider that the highest form of self-care. And then, some of my clients in my earlier years were just ready to create a nourishing lifestyle, right? And where they no longer had to worry about diet or exercising. And then a lot of my clients are just ready to operate confidently and empowered in all aspects of their life. And a lot of my clients are ready to get out of their own way and start showing up 100% for themselves. And, a lot of my clients, they're just ready to be happy and feel fulfilled. And that list goes on and on and on. I could sit here all day and list all those reasons. And that's why we coaches are excellent resources when it comes to pivot in your life or in your business, because we become your partner, your collaborator, your biggest supporter, and your accountability champion. So we guarantee you will move forward into this pivot and with your choices to feel or be happier, more fulfilled, to experience some sort of achievement, or whatever it is you desire. And a pivot is exactly like following my 5 checkpoints when it comes to following your professional purpose. So if you remember them, the first one is desire. So when it comes to a pivot in your life, where is it you want to pivot to? So if where you are right now is not what you want, or you just want something bigger, you want to elevate to the next higher version of who you are, what is that? Where is the pivot? And then the second one is commitment. And that means how. How are you going to get to this new point in your life? And then the third one is courage, right? Remember courage? How will you handle the journey of this pivot? And how will you be kind and compassionate to yourself by saying yes to every possibility and yes to yourself during this entire journey of going through a pivot or whatever your transition may be? And then the fourth is consistency, where you practice what you're learning and how you're up-leveling every day. That is the big one. Consistency, consistency, consistency. And then the fifth and final one is that confidence piece, where you're creating sustainability around all of your new choices by believing in your self-worth and believing in the value of this pivot, right? Going back to the first one, why do I want to pivot? And what is this pivot? Where are we going? So a pivot can feel like a transition in life or in business, yet it doesn't have to be so profound or, a big overarching goal, right? And, I like to refer to pivots as a way to seamlessly transition into that big overarching goal, which is really the core of my methodology, which is the marathon method, that we create these milestones to get us one step closer or pivot, right, to that big overarching goal that we desire. Because sometimes when we only focus on that big transition or that big overarching goal, our mindset might start creating excuses and limitations because it may only be able to handle a small amount of change at a time or one pivot at a time. So I'm curious, what is something in your life that might feel better or bigger with a pivot? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.